What's up, YouTube? This is Maverick, and today I have for you a truly authentic barn find. Now, I know the term barn find gets thrown around all the time. Half the time these are not actually barn finds, but this today is an actual authentic barn find. And I can attest to that because this is a car that's been in my family since new. It's a 1967 Ford Galaxie 500 fastback. It's purchased in February 1967 by my grandfather at Reavis Ford in Mocksville, North Carolina. He traded in a 1960, I believe, Galaxie, 4-door black, that he had previously. And he bought this car primarily so my aunt could drive it around, would have a car to drive around. But it was his car. Anyway, this car has been in this barn, and you may have seen me on other videos where I'm actually in the process of restoring this barn. The day of this recording is September 6th, 2016, and I've been on the other side of this barn here. If you can see, I've been working on it since about beginning of July, on and off. I've had other things going on. I've got a guy helping me, and he's had other things going on, so haven't got a lot done lately. But anyway, back to the car. This is a low mileage original car. It's been, I think I may have said, it's been in here since the 1970s. Last inspection on the car is, I believe, expired in 77 or 76. I think 77. I'll show you the inspection sticker in a few minutes. It wasn't driven much after 1970. 1970, they bought a 1970 Ford Fairlane, and this car was no longer the driven very much. It was still, like I said, it was still on the road till the mid to late 70s, but like I said, 76 or 77. But it wasn't driven much after 1970. Now the trunk has been repainted. The car was at some point it was hit in the rear. All it did damage was the trunk, and the trunk was repainted and repaired. That I do know about. Other than that, though, everything's original. And you know, it is as you see it. You can kind of see it's been covered all these years, but the back, you know, it does. I mean, as you can see here, it catches sunlight. So I mean, you can see where the sun has faded it. And you know, it is kind of exposed to the elements. The rear, where it's had, you know, rain has come in on it, stuff like that. You notice there's not as much dust here as there is as you go further up the car, and you'll see that more so in a minute. It's been kind of until I started working on the shed on this barn here recently. It's been kind of stuck in here. There are little trees like this here. You know, stuff about like this. growing up here, but I've gotten rid of those and you know, have a clear path to remove the car at this point. Whenever I decide to do so. But anyway, I'll take you on a short tour here. Now this barn, it is September, but it's still warm. This barn, or this, especially this part of the barn, is snaky. So I am going to attempt to get in here without getting bit by a copperhead. There's a copperhead right around in here. Not too long ago I saw it was in here and he got away before I could do anything about it. Which I'm not particularly thrilled about. There you go, you can see the roof of the car and the dust. Before I forget, I'll show you that inspection sticker. Expired 1977, February 77. As I said, I believe the car was bought February 3rd of 1967, and it was new at the time. I actually have an interesting story about that in a few minutes. Here's the interior. It's kind of dark in here, so I got a little flashlight. You can't see the back seat. It's got, looks like it may have something there. Maybe those are put there to protect it. I'm not sure. I'll go through and figure out what this thing's like when I get a chance. There's the back of this front seat. Seat is dirty, obviously. Dusty, mainly dusty, not really. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of stain type soiling, whatever you want to call it. Here's the interior. It has a period correct 8-track player. It's got the clock. I believe that was an option. I'm not sure. Now, can you see the mileage? It's 25,663 miles. That's what it. Yeah, that's what it is. So this car is a 1967 model car with 25,000, less than 26,000 miles. It does have problems with the headliner. It has a crack on the dash, if you can see that. I'm not sure what else. I'll have to, get into more of it. The floor pans. I heard a snake. Heard something in the leaves next to me. But the floor pans do appear, at least this driver's side floor pan appears to be solid. I put some weight down on it, and it's not giving any. And I've done this before. I've got in it before and done it. I can't see anything, find a weak spot in it. I hadn't messed with the passenger side. Some things in here may have been put in here since it was parked. It's been here on the farm. People have had access to it. So not everything in this car is, as it was left in the, the 70s. But the car itself is, like I said, period correct. And let me slide out of here. And the door shut solid. No, I mean, like you'd expect from a 25,000 mile car. Here's some of the dust that's accumulated in the trim here. That's where you can really tell how long it's been sitting. Let's see. I'm going to take you around to the passenger side, because I can't go any further to the front. On the driver's side, there's stuff in the way. Again, I'm going to try to take my rake through here and try to scare off any snakes, or at least get them to alert me to their presence before I step on them. I'd rather not do that. Again, here's the passenger side of the car. Just, I mean, it's just been in here for so long. You can kind of see it. It's real narrow on this side, so I kind of got to take my time through here. I know this is going to be kind of a poorly shot video, but just from some of the angles I'm getting here. Now the headlights have been taken out on this driver's side here. I guess, you know, they take this, as you can see on the passenger side, take the sealed beam round headlight, like all the cars had the sealed beams back in the day. This is quite a while before the European style headlights came out over here, which I believe was on the Lincoln Mark 7, was one of the first cars to have that, in '84, which is just a bit of trivia for you. But anyway, so I'm guessing that somebody needed bulbs or something at some time for a truck on the farm here or whatever, but took the headlights out. But I do have the trim piece that goes around it, and you know, these sealed beam units are fairly easy to find. I mean, I think they even sell them at Walmart. But anyhow, see how the paint looks like, kinda underneath all that dust. Doesn't look too bad, just for a little spit shine there. Let's go under the hood. Whoops. I'll put the camera down for a minute. Here's the engine compartment. As I said, a few things are missing. Radiator cap, obviously the battery, some of the wiring up here. The brake master cylinder cover. Some other things. As I said, spark plug wires. It's just stuff that could have been used on other vehicles on the farm here. I'm guessing that somebody came around and borrowed the parts off of it. Has a 390 H code 2-barrel. I don't know what condition the engine's in. I won't know until I get it out of here. But Let me close this back up. Grab my rake. Head back to the back of the car. Again, here the passenger side, you can see there's just so much dust. Should be interesting to see how she cleans up. Anyway, battery's getting a little low now. Let me dig some keys out of here. I do have the keys for it. I have actually an interesting, I think this is the key for it. If not, it's on the spring. Yep, that's it. Now see what I tell you about snakes. There's a snake skin in the trunk. Like I said, this trunk has been repainted, I believe. The color on this car is candy apple red. Obviously it's a pretty popular color. So that's the trunk. Like I said, some of the stuff, like that antifreeze bottle, I think is newer than the 70s when the car was parked. But like I said, people have been in and out of the car. Some of the things in the car are not original to it as far as the just items laying around it. But the things, you know, as far as what's actually part of the car is mostly all original. And the title for this car, actually it's an interesting story there. As I said, the car has been the family since it was new. Purchased in February 1967, but the title was lost. And we recently filed for a lost title, and you know, went to the DMV to get all that taken care of, no problem. It'll come back with a clean title now. But it took about 2 months to get that done because the car had the original title on record with the DMV still had a lien on it for 1967. From February 3rd, 1967, the car had a lien on it. And obviously the lien had long been paid off, but the title was never turned in by the bank or by my grandfather or whoever once the title was cleared. So for the DMV's records, it still had a lien on it and had to be released. Well, this bank that loaned the money in 1967 has long been bankrupt, or rather, it was bought out by a bigger bank. I won't say the name of the bank, but their bank you would know. It's a national bank, or international, I imagine. But anyway, so we had to petition them and go through a lot of legwork, sending paperwork and more paperwork and more paperwork, and you know, faxing back and forth and this and that, and finally got a lien release from the bank, and got that settled with the DMV, and now we're just waiting for the title to come back. It's a one-owner car. As I said, it was my grandfather's car the whole time. Now it will be our car. I mean, I guess technically it's a two-owner car, but by inheritance. But one family car, at least. just because of the way it is, I can tell you a lot about it. You know, being in my family since new, there's a lot that I know about it. I also have a Marty report. I believe it's a deluxe Marty report, I'm not sure. I have a Marty report on the car, which is interesting. I mean, it just backs up what we know already, as far as many things, as far as the where the car was sold new, and where the car was, what date the car was sold new, all that, which kind of knew already, obviously, since my grandfather bought it new, but it's still interesting to see. And Reavis Ford, where it was bought in Mocksville, has been out of business for a while. For those that are local, it was the most recently was All American Ford, and they went out less than 10 years ago. I remember them well, going up there some and looking at cars and having cars serviced there and whatnot. So it's not been that long since they've been out of business, but now it's the building's still there, but it's a pawn shop now. And the bank was out of Statesville with what it was showing on the lien. I actually think the actual branch of the bank was out of Cleveland, North Carolina. But I could be wrong on that. Like I said, the lien said Statesville, so that may have been before the bank was made and built in Cleveland. And that, as I said, that bank is long since gone. The whole bank went under, or was bought out, and many years ago, long before my time. And so anyway, I think that's about everything I wanted to tell about this car. I will be making updates about it, but this is the current condition, the current, you know, as I said, it's a barn find. I mean, this is not, a little bit hard to stage this, if I even wanted to, you know. But anyhow, hopefully you enjoy this video, get something out of it, and you know, keep following my videos. I should have more updates to this coming in the next few months, whenever I decide to move the car and do something with it. Should be interesting. I'm kind of excited about this one. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and this is Maverick.